not your first time in Kiev, and I remember that at the start of the full-scale invasion you were one of the first people to come to Ukraine. You were then as head of Sejm, and you visited since at the first month of an invasion. It was a very big danger and uncertainty, and your visit back then, it was a gesture of big support for Ukrainian parliament and president and government and the whole Ukrainian nation. So what did you feel back then, and how do you feel now in this new role as a Minister of Defense?
Today I can say very simply, we supported Ukraine and we will continue with it. It's crystal clear for us. We have no illusions regarding what Russia is doing, regarding Russia's aggression and brutality. We've experienced Soviet occupation, and today we are committed to support Ukraine. I visited Bucha and Irpin yesterday, and it recalled my memories from my last visit to Ukraine almost a year ago. And yes, yesterday I saw vicinities, Bucha and Irpin, which were as a shields holding Russian troops from Kiev. And I would highly commend Ukrainian military and Ukrainian nation, because military and nation is as a whole, you are together defending your country. We will continue with support to Ukraine, and it will be political, military, humanitarian, economical aid. Well, and this support comes from our government, state institution, local governments, and from the whole nation, and it comes in very different forms. I'd like to say that only our military assistance to Ukraine comprises 1% of our GDP. And let me say that military aid, some of military aid has reached about 300 million of euro, and we are committed to continue, because the main aim is the victory of Ukraine and defeat of Russia. Otherwise, there will be no long-lasting peace in Europe.
And how is now Latvia rethinking its arms arsenal? Because I was wondering, what are your plans and what would you do if a full-scale attack occurs against your country?
We follow the situation in Ukraine very closely, and we learn from your experience as well. When I visited Bucha and Irpin, it was clear that territorial defense, or in Latvian we call it National Guard, Zemesardze, is of critical importance. It was because of National Guard you could protect your capital city, or territorial defense, you could protect your capital city, Kiev. Today, air defense is of crucial importance. Anti-tank capability is of crucial importance as well, and we are working on our defense system. I like to stress that what is important for us, it's, as a NATO country, is forward defense. I mean NATO troops here in Latvia, and we will start with the conscription.
So is Latvia currently raising expenses for the defense capabilities? Because, for example, we know that some NATO countries have procured HIMARS systems. So what's Latvia doing in this?
Latvia is doing utmost. It was decided to reach 2.5% of GDP for defense till 2025 and 3% till 2027, but with additional money in this year budget, which is still not adopted in our parliament, but it will be soon, we will reach 3% very soon. Additional defense spending will allow us to start new capabilities crucial for our defense.
So I remember that during the Madrid summit this summer, there were agreements reached on strengthening the east flank of NATO alliance in case of the possible invasion by Russian Federation. So were there any measures taken already in this regard?
Yes, I'd like to say that in Madrid summit we are delighted with all decisions of the summit, and with very straightforward language. All NATO countries admitted that Russia is a threat. It's one thing, and another thing, we will proceed with our forward defense. I mean, Baltic countries and eastern flank of NATO as a whole, and in Vilnius we will take stock of it.
We also know that Latvia has taken the decision to conduct training for Ukrainian, is considering and taking the decision of organizing training for Ukrainian military personnel. So could you please give us the insight of what format will this take? Are we speaking about instructors, Latvian instructors for Ukrainian military personnel, or will the training be organized in the Latvian territory? And perhaps you could give us the number of military personnel that is planned to undergo training, or their specialities.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for this question. I met with the Minister of Defense of Ukraine yesterday, and we discussed it well. And last year we have done a lot in training of Ukrainian military, Ukrainian soldiers, and it was a basic infantry course plus another specialties. I will not disclose it because of what we are doing, and I'd like to tell that I will double the number of Ukrainian soldiers, instructors, which undergo training in Latvia.
Since 2014, Latvia is one of the countries that has been helping Ukrainian military, particularly with providing medical care and rehabilitation treatment. So are any measures being taken now in this direction? Perhaps there are Ukrainian troops who are coming to Latvia for rehabilitation programs.
There are Ukrainian military undergoing rehabilitation, and Latvian doctors and medical staff helps them a lot. And on the other hand, I would like to stress that a lot of help comes from our society. I mean, to wounded soldiers as well, to their families as well. And there are special programs for families, supporting children, supporting wives of Ukrainian military, bringing them to Latvia, and just supporting and helping those families. Be it summer camps or some other forms, it's been decided.
Will Ukrainian experience be useful for providing military training to Latvian military personnel?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I have met during my visit Ukrainian military, different ranks and different specialties, and we discussed how your lessons learned, how your experience could be useful for us.
How does Latvia plan to continue its support for Ukraine in 2023? Perhaps you have already allocated budget for this, or perhaps some future military aid sets. Perhaps something was not announced yet. Is there anything that we could sort of disclose?
Yes, I can disclose at least something. I released information that Latvia is sending Stingers, additional portion of Stingers to Ukraine very soon, and we will continue with other military aid. I mean drones, I mean helicopters, and some other things I can't disclose yet, but it's been preparing. And a lot of Ukrainians today live and receive different kind of benefits in Latvia. And we are committed to continue with our assistance and help until victory and after the victory.